transformation has swept through the authority under the leadership of Honorable Oyetunde Ojo and his management team. From digitalizing operations to improving staff welfare and fostering strategic collaborations, their commitment to change has been evident. We not only celebrate 1 year in office of a strategic trailblazer, but we will also reflect on the milestones achieved and the vision for the future.
I was appointed with for Executive Director by Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And alongside myself is the Executive Director of Accounts and Finance, Executive Director of Business Development, and Executive Director Project Implementation and Estates. 4 of us were appointed. When we came in, we realized there were a lot of challenges on ground. Like any government, you would realize that's why government is about continuum. We are going to make assets and liability. And your work is to make sure you put things right. And in starting, we started more with welfareism of the staff. And we had to look at staff issues and staff conditions because that's extremely very key. The people you want them to work along the same line with you, be on the same goals with you. First of all, they must be well taken care of and making sure that their salaries are being promptly paid. Other staff conditions and emoluments are being properly paid. Now we also realize that with the renewal agenda of Mr. President, we realized that we had a lot of work on our foot. When we came, we realized FHA did not have a land, to be honest with you. And Mr. President have said they want us to build houses around over Nigeria. Yes, we all know the end result of housing is people living there. But housing also creates a lot of change in terms of employment, in terms of revamping an economy where a job is being created. And you can look at the chain in housing, cement, bricklayers, irons, block molders, talk of any form, even food sellers, food vendors. And we realized so we had to embark on a nationwide movement around the whole country. And moving from one state to another, before you build, you must acquire lands. I keep saying the powers of land is vested in the hands of the state governors. And that led us to almost about 20 to close to 30 states. And we're very lucky, we're well received by the state governors, and lands were given to us. Like I said, not just given to us, compensations were being paid by these governors. And in most cases, we've collected our CFO. Digitalization was a serious issue when we came in. Files were still being modeled up in the old style. And in the 21st century, you expect things to have been digitalized. And we'll say there will be no more carrying of property files by hand. And I would say a very big thank you to the ICT department, in which they complied and working day and night, were able to commence the internal digitalization. And very shortly as I speak, we would finish the external one, whereby people outside can access their file. But internally, as we speak, nobody carries files, property files specifically by hand. And roughly, we also realized we needed to put the authority in the right direction. To put it in the right shape, we realized that in the 21st century, we have to employ technology, which we have to move in drones to know our land boundaries, to know about the houses and everything we have. And also on our head is also the bank, FHA Mortgage Homes, which also works as a bank. It's a subsidiary of Federal Housing Authority of Nigeria, in which I'm the chairman. And at the end of the day, so I'm doing more of a dualized role as well. And in looking at the bank, we realized the bank lacks some certain things in terms of digitalization as well, in terms of current banking procedures. And applications and what is expected from a bank to make it grow. So we decided to move in terms of recapitalization, to make sure the bank is healthy, and to make sure people's mortgages are safe as well. So my coming in also, even though there was a board approval in which I met coming in, I inaugurated the EDL. That's the electricity part of FHA, because with all our estates nationwide at present, and the one we're intending to build, thank God for the new signing of Mr. President about the electricity bill that gives private, state government, individuals to generate, produce light in the country. So we decided to say, okay, we are also going. And during my tenure, we inaugurated the EDL. So you have the FHA as the main parent, you have the two as the subsidiary.
I'd like to take us back to staff welfare. It is a very core aspect of every organization.
You can imagine an outsourcing agency in which staff have not gone for foreign training, foreign exhibition, foreign this. We decided to say it is now time for our staff to also get involved in most of these foreign retreats, foreign training, housing exhibition, engineers, particularly town planners, estate management, and everything. So for the first time after about 14, 15 years, we had some of our town planners going abroad to also see what is going on, how new cities are being planned. And right now we are working on the engineering side, where they will be going outside Nigeria to attend engineering events, which are very relevant to what they are doing. Knowing fully with all these things, we are not in the budgetary line. Yes, since 2003, FHA was removed from budgetary line. So we have to go there and look for our money. We have to go there and look for how to pay our staffs. We have to go there and look for how we do the allowances. Offices were ramshackled, I have to be honest, at this juncture. So coming in, we had to buy equipment. I can tell you, and I can beat my chest, we are doing a lot of renovations around where the work matters. You work in a very good environment, definitely you have higher productivity.
So when we came in, the new management led by, let me look for a good word to describe my MD. You know, he said a new sheriff, but man, that guy is, he pushes. He's somebody that's extremely passionate. He has good foresight of where he wants to go, and he's a fantastic team player. So the vision he has, I can only describe it in two sizes, large and extra large. You know, we've met a place that had a lot of potentials, and we've dedicated ourselves to work. And right now I can say that we like the way it's coming. So far we've done probably less than 10% of what we have. So if less than 10% has given us this, you can imagine what the vision of the new administration is for the next 4 years. It's say that the way to eat an elephant is to take one bite at a time. So what we are doing is we are shoring up our income generating or revenue generating potentials by making sure that we go to make sure people get paid their ground rent and everything. Then we are giving back by ensuring that we start to map all the estates one by one, look at the challenges and approach them from what we call first principles. One of the first challenges that we have in every estate is security. Before you talk of good roads and everything, you need to be sure that the people are secure. Now, our estate, we are now working with people to look at the option of fencing, the option of physical security, and the option of, digital security, which is cameras and things like that. And again, we are working on what we call the estate sustainability policy. For each state, you must have that. There are certain things that you must be mindful of as at today. how green, apart from the new estate, which we have incorporated this, but how green is the estate? How can we go back to an estate that, is climatic, compliant? So we're looking at all those things, and that comes under estate sustainability policy. But we're also looking at the little things like, how do we provide street lights? I'm sure you've seen what is happening in Festac. We've started doing the roads, and people are starting to see, the light at the end of the tunnel, that FHA is coming back. And then by the time you look at security, we look at the road network, we look at the light, for the estate. These are the things that we are doing right now to make sure that we start to bring back, our estates.
The issue here before our arrival, there's no financial base, there's no revenue projection. Now, in this department, myself and my team, we have established a framework that every year we should be able to know our revenue base before the year runs up. Now we make sure that every payment must go into the TSA account that belongs to Federal Housing Authority. No receipt will be issued to you without confirming our payment from the TSA portal. When you see the receipt of FHA, you will see my name, Dr. Matthias Buan, Executive Director, Housing, Finance and Account, and signature. Once you don't see that signature, the receipt is fake and there's no payment in Federal Housing Authority. No more issuing receipt, manual receipt. So anywhere you are, if you pay, you get your receipt online, less than 24 hours. This is the development we have brought to FHA.
Coming in of our new management, which is being headed by the MD, Chief Executive Officer, in the person of Honorable Oyetunde Ojo, it has been like a 360 degrees turnaround. In fact, he came in a full force and made sure that he started, by first of all, continuing with the digitization that was started by the past management. The digitization is what we have clamored for in the years past. And I'm so happy sitting here to tell you that it commenced and we are seeing it live. And it has really aided our operations. You can now see that the files that we used to carry up and down, we are no longer carrying files again. We can now go to the systems, get the files are secured. In fact, the first action which he took was to make sure that all property files were returned to the registry for capturing into the system. Say that it has been a good experience working with the present team. We are expecting that at the end of their tenure here, we should be able to be talking like those of them that are working in CBN and NMPC. Because
since the coming of the current set of executive management, there are a lot of changes, improvement, efficiencies in the operation of finance department. Finance department is the life wire of every organization. And you want to know anything about organization is the finances. That's what we call financial statements. The financial statement is what gives the picture of what the organization is entirely about. The contribution of authority into the Consolidated Revenue Fund has improved significantly. While in years like 2021, about 500 million was contributed to CRF. In 2022, about 1.2 billion. 2023, and around 1.7. But in 2024, last year, we are talking of about more than 4 billion naira was contributed to Consolidated Revenue Fund. Right from their coming, they were strategic. they have a clear idea of where they want to go and sequentially design the strategies on how to get to the destination. Because know where you want to go and have a clear idea of how you get to a destination is a good start for every journey.
I want to offer my heartfelt congratulations to the MD and his executive management team on their 1-year anniversary in the authority. They have inaugurated the performance management core team, which is a component of the implementation of the performance management system. The implementation of the PMS will be able to optimize our operations, will be able to achieve our strategic objectives, and will be able to at least deliver quality service to our stakeholders. So that is a kudos to the present management. And we really appreciate the present management, the MD in particular. We wouldn't have gotten as far as we have gotten. He has led from the front. And leading from the front is a sign of mentorship, a sign of leadership, a sign of being objective about the way you want your staff to be able to render service and value.
The new management, to be honest with you, came with a vigor, with energy. What has not been done before in the procurement department has actually been achieved. The first thing that I will say, based on my own understanding now, since I assumed the position, it has been a very, very cordial relationship. It is the first key thing that you need, because procurement on its own is simply defined as conduct, how to behave and how to carry out government procurement processes. Remarkably, we received close to 3,500 submissions, which was huge if you have to compare with the previous procurement that has been done in the past. In terms of submission, this is huge. Thank God for the swift reaction of the MD. Very capable hands who quickly intervened. That look, concerning the stampede about that period that was going on in the country, where you have a lot of debt and all this thing. So when you have about over 3,500 submission, and the law says you must come with their representative. So we begin to think outside the box that, look, considering our space here, how can we accommodate over 3,500? So the idea came that we should zone it, and it was done, and it took us about 9 days, inclusive of the New Year and the weekends that was in between. So it took us roughly 9 days, and we strategized, and we took it zone by zone. And that was how we were able to defeat what ab initio appear as challenges. And the experience was awesome, to be honest. And like I said, I'm privileged, but it has never been. So today, to go down history, that this is one of the highest that the authority has handled.
What has really happened in all the geopolitical zones, starting with our drive, this new management's drive for land acquisition? As of today, I stand corrected. We must have paid a visit to 27 states or thereabout to acquire land from the various state governments, and it has been very, very successful. This is in preparation for our Renew Hope Agenda housing program, which is, I would say, a focus of this government, and what Mr. President is very desirous to make sure that he provides affordable housing for Nigerians at large. So all zones now are going to be very, very, very busy. However, of all these zones, the most busy has been the Southwest, especially Lagos. Why so? Because Lagos, in our Festac town, which is the first phase we built, we have a lot of regeneration to carry on there, redevelopment,
And also, if we want to talk about our Festac Phase 2, where a lot of encroachment has gone on, we are there reclaiming our land from land grabbers and also reclaiming the wasteland, in quotes. Wasteland in the sense that most of this land we're talking about are like swamps. And the new management has been able to ensure that we are now reclaiming those land through sand filling. You will recall that in that zone, we have a concessionaire that has been on ground for closer to 13, 14 years, and nothing has been achieved. But with the coming of this management, a lot has been achieved. I always say that as staff of the Federal Housing Authority, I encourage all of us to be committed to our duties and support the new management.
One of the significant milestones achieved in the past year is the land reclamation exercise carried out in Festac Phase 2. With approximately 125 hectares concessioned to new Festac Property Development Company, extensive sand filling, reclamation, and infrastructure development have commenced. This effort marks the dawn of a new era for Festac, paving the way for a modern, sustainable urban landscape.
On Festac Town, I want to say it's quite challenging. The first day we got to Festac and we saw a lot. If you go to Festac now, from 1st Avenue, in another 1 or 2 weeks, the entrance, which is on the 1st Avenue, when you say welcome to Festac, we are about on the completion stage. It was demolished. That was done in 1979. We realized that to give it another facelift. We got it demolished. They are working on it. On 1st Avenue Road, which was in a very sorry state condition, we've worked on 1st Avenue. Now, if you go to 1st Avenue towards going to the bridge in Amuwo-Odofin, even going towards 6th Avenue from 1st Avenue, there's heavy road construction going on. Palliative and some heavy ones after Amuwo-Odofin on the left are because sometimes the cost of doing these things are very heavy. We're also talking to FEMA to see 1 or 2 things they could do for us in this road rehabilitation. Some with serious road construction. Another challenge leading to that is people are not paying in terms of our dues, which is the ground rents that we intend doing most of these repairs. We realize that we are engaging them, but you know Nigerians, you have to really, it's only when they want to do change of title, you have been able to get these ground rents. But we're also working on it, in which they have to pay us our ground rent into it. From 1st Avenue towards 6th Avenue now as I speak, it used to be a dark zone. It used to be where you can't walk. But now as I speak, going there, it's been street lightened from 1st to 6th Avenue. Festac needs a lot of work, I must agree with you. But we'll get there, it's a gradual thing.
It sweets me because that time they never do am, people suffer too much. So accident wey dey happen here no be small. One motor wey even carry a beer, wey dey carry beer, e fall here, beer bottle full ground. This road, that place wey sand, e fall, beer bottle full ground. Because Tiger say no okada dey near am, people for die. So as they do this thing, e sweet me. And for my own business sef, as they do the road, e dey sweet me unto say all those people wey dey work here, they come patronize me.
In terms of us, we in the transport unit as a drivers, as you can see, I'm dressing like as if I'm a barrister. But to the glory of God, where the man, our managing director, came into power, he made sure that we all will look good and neat. As you can see me, I'm looking neat as a chief driver, and that is how all of us look like. And it has been a marvelous thing in our whole side in terms of the welfare. So we have not been lacking of anything. And in the other way around, I'm still appealing to the management, not for them to stop and we'll go ahead and do more for us, to the staff. So, and I thank God that things have been happening smoothly in terms of the mandate of the authority. It has been going well. So I know from now to the next 1 year to 2 years coming, I know FHA will not remain the same thing again. It's going to be a change level. So thanks.
Since the assumption to office of the chairman, board of directors of the bank, Honorable Ojo Oyetunde, his ambition is to take the bank to become a national licensed bank. And that he has proven practically by ensuring that the asset of the bank is improved, and also in terms of getting the license from the Central Bank of Nigeria, which is very essential. The customer base of the bank has improved from 70,000 to over 140,000 actively. Beyond that, we're embarking on digitization. You know, the bank has employed dynamic young minds that injected new blood into the ICT sector of the bank. As it stands now, we can connect with the bank 24/7, real-time, online. That has already been achieved. And indeed, it is our focus that by ending of March, which will exactly become his 1 year in office, the bank will move to its head office building, which is located in Gwarimpa on 3rd Avenue. It's a 4-story building, and that will give us a befitting image, you know, to interact and also give more confidence to our customers. Over the 1 year, you know, with the facilitation of the board chairman, we were able to collaborate with the Nigerian Army. The Nigerian Army rolled out a program they call a whole, which is meant, you know, to ensure that every officer and personnel of the Nigerian Army access mortgages. We have Nigerian Army is in the process of delivering 1,000 houses, and the estate is located at Kiami. The bank is selected to facilitate, you know, access to mortgages on behalf of soldiers and men of the Nigerian Army. And as I mentioned, through the informal sector, we have a, you know, collaboration with variety of cooperative societies, and we're helping them to access mortgages.
Federal Housing Authority Energy Distribution Limited was actually an idea that came up to intervene in housing provision by making houses to be affordable, while at the same time not taking away any part of the value chain in housing delivery. By this I mean you need to have houses that are affordable to off-takers at prices that they can afford. And one of the key ways of achieving this is to, you know, take away the cost of infrastructure and the cost of the housing provision. And that's where the idea of the company came up. We have been able to secure license to operate, that's in the distribution line. And the cost of acquiring that license, we are also advised by NEC, that's the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission, to also put in for generating license, because that will give us the leverage to actually generate and distribute ourselves. Big thank you to our chairman, who has always been there for us wherever we found any obstacle along the line. Like I said earlier, we do expect them, but anytime we do encounter such, the moment we notify him, he's always ready to do whatever he can to make sure that we get that obstacle out of the way. And at any point in time we have an issue, I bring his attention to it, and he say, why didn't you tell me this earlier? So I must say a big thank you to our chairman, and just like I promised during the inauguration that of the company, that we are the baby now, but going forward, our vision is that the child will grow and be better than the parents.
The Federal Housing Authority has undergone a remarkable transformation, moving from years of neglect to a future filled with promise. Through digital innovation, infrastructure upgrades, and a renewed commitment to both staff and residents, the authority is now on a path of sustained progress. As we mark 1 year of impactful leadership, we look ahead to even greater achievements and a future of sustainable growth and development.